I had a conversation today, saw something else. I've had a conversation last week regarding what do I owe my parents help wise. So it depends. The a lot of if your parents are trying to guilt you into helping them because of their poor decisions, it depends. First off, if they're trying to guilt you into it, no. So the question becomes, do you owe your parents anything? Yes, they raised you. And what I see is there's typically two sides to this coin. There's the good parents that have done a good job raising you. You've grown up in a loving home, and they may have even helped you out along the way. Do you help those parents? Are you obligated to? I think if you can, you should. Because you were raised in a loving household, especially if they've helped you along the way. But I think the mistake that people make is helping their parents at their own detriment. So, for example, if you've lived with your parents at some point or they've helped you post-divorce, whatever, and now you're looking at something down the road and they need some help because they're retiring and they maybe haven't planned as well as they should have or whatever, you get to have an input into what the help looks like. Like you wouldn't help them stay in their house if it prevented you from being able to afford a house. But maybe the help is you help subsidize an apartment or subsidize a smaller house. Okay? You get to have an input depending on what you're able to do and what they need versus what they want. Okay? Then we have the other side of the coin, that your parents weren't that good. They were either abusive physically or financially. I've seen that. And then when they fall on hard times, they have this expectation and they try to guilt you into, you have to do this. There was a case, something I'm aware of, where the mother reached out. Understand, this person has been basically on their own since they're 17 or 18. Now they're in their 50s, empty nest, but life is still busy, working, married, dogs. And they're like, you need to take your stepfather in. Excuse me? That there's not that much of a relationship because they don't want to do it or can't afford to because they haven't planned for retirement. So understand, if there's no strong relationship or it's been a bad relationship, you owe them nothing. And no, you're not going to cause them to be homeless. Their decision caused them to be homeless, not you. But the person who's trying to manipulate and guilt you is always going to try to put it back on you. And it's like anything else. Would you help your kids out? Absolutely. If your child had struggles with alcohol, you're going to have rules and boundaries around what the help looks like and maybe what they have to do. If they have financial struggles and they need to live with you for a while, it may be, that's fine, but you need to get a job and you got to follow the house rules. So often we don't have good boundaries and we don't hold people to the agreements. So yes, while it'd be nice, we always want to think we'll be able to help our kids. And, our parents helped us and our grandparents helped them. Sometimes nowadays it flips and the kids need to help out the parents. And if you have the ability to do so and you've had good parents, absolutely do that. If you've had crappy parents, you're not obligated to do anything. If you have parents that are trying to guilt you, you're not obligated to do anything. I know some cultures, they feel there's a requirement to do this. Not if your parents have been crappy, abusive, neglectful, manipulative. It's one of those, you reap what you sow. So there's nothing I wouldn't do for my dad before he passed. Okay? But he earned that by being a good dad. And again, we're not scorekeeping, but it's just one of those things. Good parents, you help. Bad parents have to do a little more on their own. All right? If you're struggling with this is a boundaries issue a lot of times too. I recommend either Unfuck Your Boundaries by Faith Harper or Henry Cloud's book, Boundaries. But if you want to talk about it, my contact information is below. Have a great day, guys.